There we go. I think we figured it out, guys. All right, let me go over here. Hey, Mooder, hope you're doing well. I'm just retyping up the poll question here. I tried to go live a few minutes ago, everybody. My Wi-Fi was just being a brat, so I reset my Wi-Fi, then my speeds burst up. But I had like a 50 download speed instead of the normal 1000, and I had like a 5 upload speed, and unlike the normal like 40 that I get. So I'm just like resetting everything. So just give me 1 second. Great, good, and then let me do 2 more here. And hey, Alentime, happy to see you back, man. Let me just go over here. Bad. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Freaking annoying as all can be here. So let me go ask community. And hey, AZTV, hope you guys are doing okay. So before we get started here, I got a lot to talk about as far as Bitcoin, everything else going on here. The market's a big earnings week, and we'll be talking about that. Earnings week really does start to pick off. I would say Tuesday and Wednesday, but again, we'll talk about it here in a few seconds. Make sure everything's working on my part. There we go. So you guys know that I'm heading off to Vegas tomorrow night. I won't be doing anything. The conference starts tomorrow, but I'll be getting in way too late. I think I'll arrive at the hotel maybe somewhere between like 11 o'clock and midnight. So it'll be really late at night when I get there. So I'm not going to do anything besides maybe have a drink and do a slot machine for half an hour or something like that. This will be the last stream I would say until Monday, but the Monday stream I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be doing it like on the camera here and all that type of good stuff. What I'll be doing is, hey boy, I'll be doing streams from my phone. All right, so get used to that for a little bit. I'll be walking down Vegas, probably not streaming well because I want somebody to see my phone, but you guys will see me at my room. I'm staying at the Westgate Hotel, so pretty decent, I would say. So you guys will see me over there when I do my streams, and we'll be talking about earnings, what's going on with the markets, because we are very close to a big breakout as far as Bitcoin's concerned, and that could lead to some really good things. But you know, history of course is not on our side in this scenario, so we're gonna have to play it safe. So all right, well, Loki wants a treat. There you go. Yum 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 yum. I'm being extra nice because he doesn't know I'm gonna be gone in Vegas for 4 days, so he's gonna be really sad. Yeah, you get one more. There we go. Uno mas. There you go. Yum 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 yum. All right, that's what you get. Yeah. Yeah, think about it for a second. But okay, everybody. Hey, Bideford. Hey, Nope. Hope you guys doing well. George Cohen. I'm just gonna call you Cohen because I can't pronounce your first name. Right here. All right, there we go, guys. And it's gonna probably be a smaller stream today just because I messed up the first stream on my Wi-Fi did. So whatever you guys want to ask, it's gonna be one of those nice chill Saturday night streams. So first of all, everybody, let's kind of talk about what's going on here. You know, as far as what happens on Monday and Tuesday and stuff like that, I'll let you guys know about the announcements as it comes along. But like, there are some really cool things about to come out in this conference. It's not like it's going to be stuff ready to go, but if the technology's been built and now they're kind of trying to figure out a way to advertise it to the masses, so to speak. But I'm really excited, especially about what Alpaca's bringing out here pretty soon. Let me go over here very fast. There we guys go. Well, there we go, guys. And hi, Bedford again. Hope you guys are doing well. So let's take a quick peek here at Bitcoin. All right. So here's Bitcoin's daily chart. We're on the verge of this breakout right here. I probably ought to put a magnet there. All right. We are very close to a breakout here. If we're going off of this daily chart, it should happen sometime this week, right? Between today, which is the 23rd, and you might say the 29th or the 30th if you want to come into contact, maybe the 31st. But the way I normally look at this is we normally don't just go sideways and break out. Normally have a pump up and then we break out a little bit earlier. So if we have a good earnings report this week, I would say that Bitcoin has an opportunity to attempt to start, you know, ripping up here past 20,000 bucks, maybe up closer to $23,000, $24,000. Anything above that, we'd really have to wait and see. but there is an opportunity since Bitcoin's been so resilient over these past few months. It has not broken down below that those summer lows that everything else has been breaking down. If you go to a bunch of different asset classes out there, just different assets, you guys will notice that, and hey, Monica, hope you're doing well. You'll notice that, you know, Bitcoin has been able to hold the 2022 lows where a lot of other assets haven't. So if we go over here very fast, you know, let's go over to something more like ADA. ADA broke down below those summer lows and it's heading back down here to that next Fibonacci level, right? You got Ethereum, it's doing fine above. Dogecoin doing fine above. Dogecoin is still holding support. It's had some weak spots, don't get me wrong, but it is still holding that support level right now. STMX still above. Engine Coin still above barely. You know, XRP doing fantastic with the news and all that type of stuff. It just had a golden cross today. That's awesome. That's XRP's first golden cross since August of 2021. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a very, very long time since that's happened. All right. So, and just so you guys get the understand this a little bit more, you know, look at the NASDAQ broke down below the 2022 lows, summer lows. I'll just say summer lows. SPY broke down below the summer lows, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average broke down below those lows here. Okay. The cool thing about the maybe you could say this about the Dow Jones is if you kind of stretch it out here, you see a bottom neckline. We managed to break above it here. Maybe that gives us a little bit more of a move. So if you guys are hoping for something nice, maybe you can go off of that, especially as we kind of open up Monday here. You're going to be looking at the Dow Jones trying to actually break out above that 50-day moving average. SPY, no major resistance besides this kind of level you guys can see kind of right there, right? And you see the NASDAQ right here broke above the 20-day moving average. Hopefully it can actually find its way back up to maybe 1195 or somewhere close to that. My concern about this one is, you know, not really, because we never actually closed above this. So this is the first time we're technically breaking out above the 20. So we might have an opportunity here for like a decent Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday is where I'd probably see the most volatility for the week. You can go into Friday, I guess, as well, but I don't think Monday should be too intense. Mostly just picking off of where we left off on Friday here, but I think a lot of the crazy stuff that we're going to be expecting in the markets will probably start hitting off around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe just Tuesday, Wednesday. And the reason I say that here, if we go over to earnings, Monday's earnings, you really don't see much going on here. You see HSBC, it's a big company, but not much going on. CNBC, really not much going on here, right? But when you go over here to Tuesday, you got Microsoft, Google, Visa, Coca-Cola, right? You know, UPS, get packages. So, you know, Chipotle. So you're going to have a Twitter. You're going to have a pretty good idea of what's going on after Tuesday. And then going into Wednesday here, guys, then we start getting into the Metas and things like that. There we go. Metas, Thermo Fisher, Boeing, you know, some of these larger companies. It's going to be interesting. But I think really, Kraft Heinz company, that's a big one as well. I think that's where you start to see a lot of cool stuff coming in, a lot of volatility coming in here. And as far as Thursday, Apple, Amazon, MasterCard. So, you know, McDonald's, T-Mobile, Comcast, a lot of big players here giving earnings this week. So, you know, ExxonMobil, yada, yada, yada. I'm hoping my banking stocks do quite well this week. But my main point here, guys, is this earnings week is going to be out of this world. It's going to really determine if we have a nice little bear market rally here for maybe about a couple weeks or so, or if we start dumping down hard. Okay. Let's hope it's not too bad, but you got to be careful in this market, right? Let's see right here. And hey, the truth, I'll ask you a question in just 1 sec, answer your question in just 1 second. Same with you, Mudu Hill. Go over here very fast. And the reason why that's a kind of a concern for Bitcoin here is, let's just go to the weekly chart. I would say you see how Bitcoin's been consolidating, guys. You know, I mean, if you kind of look at it, since June, we really haven't done a whole lot of anything. We've had a little bit of a bounce, we've come back down, and now we're just continuing to consolidate. We have an opportunity to break out above the 20-week moving average, which is going to be a hard thing for us to do. It is going to be a hard thing for us to do. And you know, that kind of goes against what we normally see as far as the death cross is leading to some really nasty moves on the market here. And on top of that, the NASDAQ and S&P. So we can either have a breakout here, but if earnings are bad, guys, I do think that'd be enough to drop Bitcoin down to that next level here, okay? And what I mean by that is if we go back in time a little bit, probably best just to go to the Coinbase chart so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There we go. Remember over here back in 2018, how we were in a very similar pattern? We were just kind of holding steady, holding steady, holding steady until one day, you know, let me just, right, holding steady, holding steady, holding steady until one day we just dropped off of a rock. I'm afraid that might happen this time. So if you guys do want to do any trades, I'd recommend having some stop losses. And this is just if you're doing leverage trading. If you guys are still doing spots, honestly, I'd be very patient and just wait for the breakout and see how that comes along. I think if you guys do want to buy before, you know, it could possibly go up, that the market go up, I would say you have tomorrow and Monday. And I think Tuesday is when you're going to start to see really bad stuff happen or really good stuff happen. But I do want you guys to understand that this trend line that we're looking at right now, right here, it does remind me a lot of what we're seeing today, right? I know it's kind of hard to be zoom out, much shorter time frame here, but you can see it's just not what, pretty similar circumstances, let's just call it that, okay? Although this time this is happening below the 200 weekly moving average, back over here was happening way above it. So that's what has me concerned right now. I'm hoping that it's not going to be in a worse spot, but you know, we'll have to patiently wait that off. As far as some of these other assets though, you know, look at Ethereum. Ethereum is in this slight downtrend right now. It's going to try to break out probably sometime Monday, Tuesday if it gets the opportunity. And then from there, we might have another opportunity for a good golden cross here. So, you know, it's not like we're in desperate times, but these earnings really are going to, they're going to lead us in one way or the other. And it's probably, you know what? I could see a case for us having decent earnings, but I just don't know how, I haven't factored in how everybody has been thinking about the guidance and if the estimates are too high or too low. Normally I have enough time to kind of look at the estimates and kind of get a general idea if they're like, I think they're going to be too low or too high. At this point, I really don't know because I've been getting prepared for this trip to Las Vegas. So I'll try to see if I can do it on the plane, but probably not. I get unlimited drinks on the plane. I usually take advantage of that wholeheartedly. Okay, so one other thing here about Ethereum. Ethereum is bottom to me right now. You know, it's somewhere around that 1058 level. I know it looks like we kind of got choppy here as far as Ethereum is across this Fibonacci retracement level. But if we open up the weekly chart here, guys, you know, we held it week after week after week after week after week. We managed to hold it. So if we can manage to hold it continuing on, I think that'd be a strong move for it. Although I am very concerned that we, you know, this 20-week moving average coming below the 200, that may cause some problems for us because it has happened before. I wish I had another one here for you. It's okay. It has happened before, but you know, sorry, my Loki's over here trying to get some free treats and stuff like that. No, he ran away after I tried to show him off to you guys. But yeah, so I am a little bit more concerned about Ethereum, and you know, it's mostly just coins in general that haven't come back down as much as Bitcoin has, right? So Loki's gonna say hi. It's okay. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. So you see something like an Ethereum way higher than the lows would suggest. So if we go over here to Bitcoin very fast, and I just show you guys how far we are from the summer lows here, you guys could see that we're currently about 9% off of those summer lows. Well, Ethereum, probably take off the magnet for this one. Yeah, there we go. Ethereum is 48% off of those lows, right? So if this is the bottom, that's great. If this isn't the bottom, that's going to mean Ethereum comes down a lot harder than a lot of other currencies out there. Dogecoin, a lot closer to that bottom. You're seeing even stuff like ADA, which is much lower than the bottom actually. So ADA is actually already fallen off the cliff there. Go over here to the weekly chart. We held, finally gave up. I guess we finally gave up here, and then we came tumbling down, right? So depending on which coins you're looking at, I'd rather be investing in an ADA when it crashes than an Ethereum when it crashes. Usually actually when the ADA crashes, if you guys haven't traded it before, if not even the bottom, if you just buy that localized support right here, give it a day, you're up like 40%, or a week, you know, a few weeks later, maybe 60%. So those opportunities here, but just be careful as all these 20-week moving averages kind of come crashing down on us over the next 2 weeks or so. All right, let me go back over here. We don't got to worry about the dollar index as well, guys. Not right now because it's There you go. It's the weekend. It's not running. It's not doing anything spectacular. Okay, let me go back over here. Let me just put on a 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. There we go. Guys, we've done a whole bunch of nothing. That looks like a very big move, but it really isn't. We've done a whole bunch of nothing over the past few days, and I guess that's what we're probably going to be doing until we get some really good earnings reports or really bad earnings reports coming at us. And hey, GT, happy to see you back, my man. How do I feel about the Voyager deal? I mean, it kind of sucks, but it's the best we're going to get. So let's just, vote yes on it. Or that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to vote yes on it. I don't even know how many shares or what I even have to vote on, right? But yeah, I'll probably just end up voting yes on it. Honestly, it's just, the faster I can get my money back, and for me, it's only $500. I know other people have thousands, tens of thousands. I know some big YouTubers have like 10,000 plus money in there. The sooner I can get that money back from Voyager, the sooner I can get that money making more money for me down the road. I'll invest it in dividend stocks, whatever it may be, but that's what I'm going to be looking for here. And you guys know me, I hop right on over to FinViz and I start looking for a bunch of different plays that can make me money just by holding it, because I know this market's not really the best right now. We've been really choppy, but if I just go over here, let me just go over here to dividend yield. Let's go to above 5, right? There's like 1,000 stocks I can choose from. Then all of a sudden I just want to buy stocks in the United States. I want stocks with a market cap over $2 billion. Now I have 145 I want to look at. And then, you know what? I'll probably end up going into some real estate companies, honestly. But I'm waiting for a bottom of those ones because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get my Voyager money back. But, I already have enough money in oil. You guys know I've been ranting about it for a while. But, thermal coal, maybe that's good going into the winter. I probably won't buy it because I missed out, a few months ago, just like with the oil plays when they were down. But, Best Buy, maybe I buy some Best Buy. Best Buy has a good dividend. People don't understand that, but yeah, 5.5%. It's not terrible. So, I'll be looking at a bunch of different plays with my Voyager money to make me more money. Oil and gas, Blackstone Minerals, I told you guys about this a while ago. It's still ripping up, going to new highs, actually. I need to make some more of those videos for you. But if you guys, just so you guys know, because I know YouTube doesn't promote my content anymore because crypto is not really the fad, right? See if I can find it here. Okay, I have too many videos, so I'm not entirely sure. But I basically have those videos that I give you guys, like, hey, 5 high dividend plays that I'd be buying and stuff like that. I'll make more of those videos for you guys over the next, not this week because I'm going to Vegas, but the next few weeks. That way you guys can see what I'm looking at. And then next Saturday, I'm having another member stream here. But what I'm going to try to do for members is, so we're going to talk about all the basic stuff that you guys like talking about the member streams, but I'm going to do the standard Apple, Google, Tesla, Amazon, and I haven't really figured out what the last one's going to be here yet, but I'm going to give you guys technical analysis like every other day for those 5 stocks all in one video. That way you guys can keep up to date in between the weekends here, which is going to be pretty nice because I was doing it for a while, but then I had to stop because I got busy. So I'm going to try to pick that up again for you guys. And hey, Truth Selection, Mike, it seems like nobody in crypto or stock is factoring any geopolitics in this strike, and this strikes me as crazy. Why is nobody talking about it? So I mean, I've talked about it, but usually I go on these really long rants about it, so I don't like to talk about it too often. Here's my thought. Right now, there's just a lot of instability in the world. As far as what's going on in the United States, we're about like 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from a major midterm election. Midterm election, and the media in America tends to lean more left, right? They tend to support President Biden more than criticize him. Whereas during Trump, they really hammered Trump hard over even the smallest things because they didn't like him or his policies, right? They kind of went nice on Obama. They didn't like Bush. And it's just been like a history here in America. Financial news is a little bit more down the middle, but it's still left. I guess the big thing here is you got CNBC, which isn't really middle of the road, but it's kind of more left. And you got Fox Business, which is definitely over on the right-hand side, right? The way I look at it as far as how it pertains to the market here, I think hedge funds and those at the top who are, trading a lot, they kind of understand what's going on, but the average person isn't really going to be caring all too much because the media doesn't give them a real reason to care, right? People in America, we've already kind of forgotten about Ukraine. I think more people are just kind of focused on their day-to-day work, TikTok, YouTube, stuff like that, than what's happening in Ukraine right now. I mean, what do you got? They're focusing on inflation, high crime. I mean, like, so, you know, I don't know. Seattle's pretty has a lot of crime right now in it. And I like Seattle. I love Seattle, but it has a lot of crime right now. I went to the store the other day. I bought some groceries. It was like $300. Now, granted, it was at Whole Foods, and I got stuff like berries and stuff like that. But, you know, just for like, you know, just me for like a couple weeks of food, I'm spending $300, right? Now I am dieting, so it is expensive food, but still, right? So I feel like just people are in general paying more attention to that. But as far as the market, crypto YouTubers and stuff like that, most people just get their information from the news. Even like me as a crypto options finance person in general, I get a lot of my information from news sources. So this will be something like CNBC, Fox Business, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, whatever it is, right? Yahoo News. I'll get a lot of my news there, and I kind of curate it to what I think is important for the day. Most of the YouTubers get their information like that too. The thing about me, which I put into the equation here, is I used to have a fun name for it, but I forget what it was called. But you know, like street economics. How does the current economy affect the everyday guy? And then I kind of track down how that's happening, and then that's where you start looking at more of the geopolitical things going on here. I guess a good example would be the railroad strike. It was a big deal back at a couple months ago. I had been talking about it for a while, and I was like, hey, I don't know if they're going to get a deal done. I thought they wouldn't actually get a deal done. It looks like it was a dirty deal top of it when they did get it done, because the union workers voted no on it. But they, you know, I was talking about it. Nobody was talking about it. Then all of a sudden, one day, everybody was talking about it. It's just the way that goes, because usually the way most people get the news from YouTube is it starts off with a major news organization, and then the YouTuber picks up on it and they try to expand upon it by making it seem like, you know, by making it seem more cool, crazy, exciting to listen about, right? But it usually all comes from the news itself. So if the news isn't really paying attention to a lot of these issues, right? You look at the Biden a couple days ago. He said that the economy was strong. There was a bunch of good economic numbers coming out, right? The consumer is not doing well right now. Savings are plummeting right now. Inflation is like really hurting a lot of everyday American families. Gas prices are really, really bad. Right, so they say they're good, but good gas prices to me are below $3. We're in like the mid 3s to 4s. Actually, I don't even know what the gas price is. I haven't gotten gas like a couple weeks since the gas spiked. There you go, Washington average gas prices. So I'm in Pierce County, so I'm actually at $5. So, sorry, I'm not even in the 4s. I'm in the 5s. I think it was actually up more a couple days ago though, right? But Seattle is at 534, you know, Lewis at 527. So, you know, things aren't good. Lucky for me, I have a good income, but the average person out there, they don't have time to really be thinking about the overall market, and YouTubers themselves, they don't care necessarily. They're there for views. One of the reasons that I have low views in my channel is because I don't try to over sensationalize every bit of news. I kind of just tell you how to use the news to make money off of it, because in my opinion, I think my channel will become big one day. I really do believe that, but I'm not going to try to become big by telling you guys that inflation really isn't hurting people, or you know, this Ukraine war isn't having a negative effect on the global economy. You know, the oil prices could be going lower if the administration would do certain things, but because they're trying to force on this green, you know, revolution, which I do think is warranted, but the way they're doing it is bad, if you get what I'm saying. It, you know, that causes me to lose a lot of views, so to speak. But you know, it is what it is. There are a lot of YouTubers out there who are very entertaining, but they're not always the most I don't want to say knowledgeable, because they are knowledgeable individuals, but they're not really tuned on to what's really going on here. I think if you looked at a lot of the other YouTubers out there over the past few weeks, as far as what was going on with OPEC and the oil production and stuff like that, they all kind of went with the media line of OPEC is doing this to hurt Joe Biden before the midterms and help Russia. Or if you look at what's going on, that could have been part of it, and I'm not saying it isn't, but that wasn't the main reason they were doing that. The main reason OPEC was cutting production to keep the prices high is because in order to get investors to come in and drill more oil, right? Drill oil and make a profit on that. If I want to drill, go through all the permits, go through all the processes, deal with all the lawsuits of like, me hurting the land and stuff like that. It takes like 15 to 20 years for an oil company to get a return or profit after they started drilling. It's a long process. But what's supposed to happen in the next 20, 30 years for a lot of Western countries? We're supposed to be off of fossil fuels. So why wouldn't an American company drill right now for oil, knowing that in 20, 30 years, right, we're not going to be needing it anymore, or we're going to hope that we don't need it anymore? That's the conundrum that's going on right now. But, it's much easier to say that oil corporations are bad, right? And in some circumstances, they lobby, they do some dirty tricks. I'm not saying they don't do that, but you can see how the media would and people online would oversimplify such things. So one of the reasons that I told you guys to buy oil stocks last few months and even before that, when oil was skyrocketing, was the main fact that, hey, we don't have enough refineries, we don't have enough production, and even if we have enough production right now, the refineries aren't able to keep up with it, and the demand is just too high. And back earlier this year, like March, April, the consumer was actually still strong. And so they wanted to go on vacations. They wanted to go to trips to Vegas, to Florida, to New York, to California, to Montana, Nebraska, wherever they wanted to go. They wanted to go places, Yellowstone. And they were using up a bunch of fuel. China was just coming out of their COVID lockdowns. And, we put all this together. It was like, hey guys, oil stocks are going to be nice if you guys want to buy them. And then more recently, I told you guys, hey, I think oil will be better for a dividend play. And that was like, I don't know, like a month and a half ago. Each YouTuber does different things. Most are there to entertain with a touch of technical analysis, right? And I think that's probably the most profitable method to go if you're a YouTuber. I go more information heavy, understanding it's boring. Like, how many YouTubers out there do you see actually hopping into 10K reports to answer one of you guys' questions? That, because at the end of the day, I think the goal here is to make money, not necessarily for you guys to be entertained. Although I am working on trying to learn how to be more entertaining, but I'm not good at it. My ADHD really makes it hard for me to concentrate on being entertaining. I'm not naturally a wow type of guy. So when I fake being wow, my brain only allows me to do it for like a few minutes before I'm like, oh, I go back to my normal self, and then I get distracted off of something else. But I switch off being entertaining, right? And being entertaining is hard, guys. Like, props to the people on YouTube that know how to do it. It's just something I don't like doing. Although I am practicing fitting into that mold, primarily for shorts though, not really long form content, for shorts content. But I mean, to be honest, that's why nobody's really talking about it, because the news isn't talking about it, right? If guys just like go watch Joe Biden, watch Democrats, watch Republicans, it's all, there's a scene in Batman where the Joker talks about chaos, right? A person gets run over by a car, nobody bats an eye, but if you get the scenario I'm setting up for you. All the chaos that we see right now, it's kind of an acceptable chaos for a lot of people. Even with high inflation, even with high crime, nobody is really getting too crazy about it. It's all kind of in this normal system of things that kind of goes on. I don't know what's going to get us out of that to make it seem like, whoa, this is a really bad thing going on. I don't know. But I think we're still in that controlled chaos right now. If we start having more of the riots that we had like in 2020 with COVID lockdowns because of like inflation and recession and stuff like that, then then people might start to freak out a little bit more. But I don't think we're seeing that right now, or even close to it. I would just keep an eye on savings accounts. So let me see. Oops, misspelled savings here. St. Louis Fed, maybe. I'm just looking for a general chart here. There you go. Okay, so let me zoom into this. So you see over here in 2020, savings were sky high because the government was literally giving away tons of cash. Now, I guess I wasn't eligible to get money from the government, but that's perfectly fine. I make a lot. I was still working, right? So I didn't really need the money. However, you saw after Trump gave out all the money because all all the jobs were lost because everybody wanted to shut down the economy, right? So you see savings going down, and you see over here 2021, 2020. So let me go over here a little bit. 2020. So this is after Trump lost the presidency. We got Joe Biden office kind of around here. We saw what happened. We spiked because Joe Biden gave out more money, which really kind of started off this inflation boom in America primarily. And then what started happening? Savings went down, 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 right? And instead of like, back, I guess when Trump left office where it was like 13.8, now we're currently down at 3.5. The consumer is not strong, but they keep on telling us it is, and it's just the stuff you have to realize. Like it's all kind of a show, And I'm not trying to like spout off some like conspiracy theory stuff or anything like that. I'm just saying you guys have to understand that just because a news organization says that the consumer is strong, if you go out and ask your neighbors, hey, how are you feeling about this economy? Do you feel like it's really good, like everybody in the press and the government says? They're probably going to say, I'm worried about the economy. I don't think it's as good as everybody says. That's the frank answer they're probably going to give you, something like that. So, if you could understand that, right? Oh, we were at 3 here actually a while ago, and we just popped it back up to 3.5. If you could understand that, I think you'll be much better off trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future as far as these trends are concerned. One of the reasons that I was, what is this 15-minute chart? Let's go to the daily chart. One of the reasons when we were crashing down here and we hit that cluster level, a bunch of Fibonacci levels, one of the reasons I told you guys ahead of time is I said, well, no, this isn't it. Yeah, but there it goes. I told you guys that over the next couple months, we're going to start having a rally. And during that rally, you're going to start to hear a lot of people say the bear market is over and we're only going to be going up from here on out. All right. And I warned you about that because the same people said the same thing over here and they said the same thing over here. But you guys have to understand that bear markets last a while and inflation is a tough SOB. And as soon as they started raising rates back over here in March, April, May, excuse me. The lag effect is going to hit us hard. Okay. And we haven't even hit the lag effect yet. That's the crazy thing about inflation, raising rates, excuse me. But my point being, you just got to understand how the world works. And once you understand some of the basic economics, it helps you kind of figure out like, hey, we're really high up. People think we're going to have some type of major reversal. That's probably not going to happen, right? And, you guys know I'm much more knowledgeable about the stock market than the crypto market. I like crypto. I trade crypto. I make money with crypto. But I am a trader through stocks and options by trade. I know how to trade crypto, but trading crypto to me is more difficult than trading stocks and options because I've been doing stocks and options for years and years and years. Crypto, maybe 2 years, right? Yeah, but 2.5 years now, I guess. It's not 2021 anymore. But, and then we go back over here. What happened? The NASDAQ hit new yearly lows. S&P hit new yearly lows, and the Dow Jones hit new yearly lows, right? So it's that type of stuff where you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. Understand that the news is right about some stuff, but when it comes to finances and when it comes to street issues, I don't know what you want to call them, but like issues on the street or kitchen table issues, they always seem to be a little bit off the mark because the people that work in those industries are primarily not the blue collar guys or gals. They're usually people that make anywhere from like $75,000 to over $100,000 a year. And while I may make that kind of money, I grew up dirt poor and I help support my mom and sister who don't have a lot of money, right? So I'm still in tune to what's actually going on. And I have friends that make a lot of money. I got friends that, work at Starbucks. It's that type of stuff, right? So if you guys can get better at that type of analysis, but you don't even have to even call it analysis, but just understanding when the news comes on and they start saying that myths, truths, you're going to have a better understanding of why that's happening. But in order to do that, you got to like give up a lot of time, which is kind of annoying. So maybe you guys don't want to do that. Leave it to me. But when when OPEC cut their rates, I watched the entire conference to get an understanding of what's going on here, right? That's the boring type of stuff you have to do. Read a 10K report on Apple, why they expect to see a slowdown in buying here. That type of stuff matters. And you don't have to read every single company's 10K report, but Apple's a pretty big company. You don't have to read Tesla's unless you want to learn more about auto industry or EVs. But Apple, oil stocks, if you want to figure out what their thought process is, you just understand what the corporate thought process is. You should know what the average day American thought process is, and then you just you put those two things together and really not ignore, but just don't put too much weight onto what news organizations are telling you, or like CNBC's or Fox Businesses and stuff like that. They have news. They're good at breaking news, but interpreting the news is where I find their flaws are, very, very large, if that makes sense, right? And hey, Orca Barbecue Company, hope you're doing well, man. Happy Saturday night, Mike, and everyone tuned in. What do you call it? Thank you. I get it's speculation, but isn't everything? I don't know. Oh no, you probably were asking that when I was giving my rant. If you have any more questions, let me know. I could rant all day about how why, or the whole thing I just gave you. Anything from YouTubers, the way YouTube works, to why YouTubers do things in certain ways. Why media organizations do stuff in certain ways. I got context throughout the entire industry, guys. Right, so I know the good stuff, the bad stuff. This is why I got a media pass to Money 2020, right? So it's all that type of stuff I can kind of put together and say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Is this really what's going on? That type of stuff. NAGT, Democrats are spending more on campaign advertising than Republican counterparts, and they know it's not going to slay its slam dunk. Yeah, well, normally in America, as far as politics is concerned, during the first midterm election, it goes against the party in charge. So this year, Republicans are supposed to win the House. During Trump's first 4 years, his first midterm, he lost the House to Democrats. Obama got the famous shellacking. He got annihilated in his first midterms. Bush, I think, gained seats, but that was primarily because it happened after 9/11. And I don't know what happened before then. But yeah, because I was a baby in the 90s. But it tends to go that way. I think right now it's much more perilous for Democrats because they're in charge of the country. They got the House, the Senate, presidency, right? And then they've implemented new policies over the past year, I would say year and a half, that have freaked out the oil industry enough to where they're not going to be drilling as much oil. They haven't done enough to curb inflation back down. The Federal Reserve, that was reconfirmed by the Biden administration, not doing the best of jobs here. He was very, very late to the ball here. He's trying to catch up, and that could tip us into a recession. They're not in a good spot right now. There's other stuff like crime and I guess immigration and just local kitchen table issues, but it's not. It doesn't look good for the Democrats right now. It could change over the next few weeks, but at least at this point, there's definitely a reason why they're pouring so much money into these races. Yeah. And hey, Selection, I appreciate your opinions. I'm in Australia, so we get pretty rounded view. Sky News Australia is great and all around source. The only mainstream news I watch these days, the rest are left bias. I mean, I watch it all. The thing is, no matter what news organization it is, I just try to put in what they're talking about to what average Americans feel. And if you can kind of connect those two dots, they're usually okay with trying to figure out which way the market's going to be going. Or you can understand how bad things really are, right? Over here, CNBC was still talking about, so a lot of other YouTubers too. Hey, did we hit the bottom? Now it's time to buy. Let's go, go, go. And what did they do? CNBC had a lot of hedge fund guys on that said, hey, we think this is the bottom. It's time to buy. And a lot of everyday Americans like followed those rules, right? Everyday traders that watch CNBC, not like everyday Americans, because a lot of people don't trade. They ended up buying, I should go to a NASDAQ or something, but you guys know it all came crashing back down. So, you just have to put two and two together, because To me, it would seem very, very obvious that we're going to be going back down more because of high inflation, lagging rate of interest rates, and how the fact that we were still doing more interest rates at the time, right? But to a hedge fund, they can overthink stuff so much, but also just tell people to buy, and people buy because they trust a hedge fund. It's just the way the world works. The way I view the world is there's a whole bunch of money sloshing out there. There's a whole bunch of money sloshing out there from corporations. I don't try to fight the system. I just try to make myself a little piece of the system and get enough money to make me happy. Maybe one day I'll become a millionaire or a billionaire or something like that. But that's the way I view the world right now. I don't try to fix anything. I just try to get my slice and live a happy life. Loki's napping. He just looked at me like, what's she talking about? And hey, Shelton, I appreciate that very much, my man. Mike, you don't do that clickbait. You're always straight up and educational. This is why you'll be huge as the market turns. Oh yeah, remember guys, I'm good when the market is really, really ruckusy and everything is going good because I can give you guys really solid plays left and right, and I can do it before the other YouTubers out there. But when it comes to during these boring times, I don't do enough to keep you entertained. I don't know if you guys have watched Jordan Cameron's channel, but that guy is entertaining as hell. Entertaining. But I could just never get myself to do a horse face live on stream. I think it just like hurts my brand too much because I do run a marketing business now. I do talk with a lot of major businesses out there in the Web3 space and the DeFi space now. I need to keep my brand on point. And the most fun I can do, which I do think it is fun for me to do this, is doing all these fun shorts, right? Now my shorts, sometimes they do okay. Like this one got 28,000 views. I'm going to do a lot more like the meme ones, and the ones with me on them, they don't really do too well because I don't have I don't know why. I got to figure it out. I got to practice being in front of the camera, but my meme ones tend to do very, very well. Right. So what I'm going to be doing now is having more fun doing shorts. But as far as technical analysis, there's no reason for me to try to make this more poppy for you guys. It's not like the money from YouTube goes to anything else but YouTube. All the money from YouTube goes straight to trading view fees. I don't know, going to Vegas, which I'm doing now for business stuff. Wi-Fi, because I got special Wi-Fi for this. The microphone, the $2,000 camera you guys are looking at. Everything I do get from YouTube, it all just kind of goes back into the channel. The 24-hour streams and whatnot. So, there are tons of other YouTubers out there. Look for them, but just understand, like if you're watching Jordan, understand you're watching a really good entertainment channel. If you're watching Mitch, which what was it Shelton just talked about, I understand you're going to get some good TA from him as well, but it might not be as entertaining. Clickbait is something I don't really like. I have been getting better thumbnails. Like I've been paying for thumbnails recently, so I do like the way it's been looking. Like the video you guys are watching right now, that's a much better thumbnail. Right? The only time you guys are going to see my mouth open in a thumbnail is these ones right here, because I literally can't control what those thumbnails are. So it's whatever my mouth was doing at the time of the frozen frame. But most of the time it's just me smiling or doing something like that. I'm going to have more of my thumbnails look like that though. And I think that's a good style for the next few months here. Hey, do I think with everything being viewed on devices, everyone is desensitized and removed? I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think people nowadays have their bubbles and they stick to their bubbles and they only care about what they want to care about, right? When I live close enough to Seattle. I go to Seattle for all these crypto events and stuff like that. When I talk to people, we're normally talking about like a crypto or some way to make money, combining our businesses, me helping them with marketing, stuff like that. Or when we're out drinking, we're just having a fun time, even though there's tons of other shit in flames, right? But I guess the people I hang out with, they have a little bit of money, right? So us with money, we're just eating dinner, having good food. Remember I showed you guys a picture of the lobster sushi with it was actually like lobster and sushi in the shell. It was like the best thing ever. But like, we're just chilling out, having fun. When I go out with some of my friends that maybe don't have as much money, we're not going out and partying all through the night and getting like really crazy food and closing out restaurants with like $500 to $1,000 bills. For like 4 or 5 people. So, it adds up, but it's not like I'm spending $1,000. But, we're going to do something like just go grab a sandwich, go on a walk through the park and chill and talk because we haven't caught up in a while. That's the type of stuff most people are doing here. And then if we talk politics or anything like that, I got friends that are Republicans, I got friends that are Democrats. I usually vote split ticket. So it's like whoever I think is good for me at the time. But people will just say, hey, I don't like Biden, or hey, I don't like Trump. Nobody really likes people that I know. Right? This is my circle. This is my circle, not your guys' circle. But I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I don't like Pelosi. I don't like Kevin McCarthy. I don't like McConnell. I don't like what's the main guy? The guy from New York, whatever his name is. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's always about I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's gonna get worse, guys. Right? The more that the federal government grows, the more everyday people are going to want something from that government. And the more that government can't deliver because it was literally designed to not work efficiently to stop all this type of crazy stuff from going through. Like, not talking about like policies. I'm like, they wanted everything to be slow and methodical so it gets moderated over time, right? Because it wasn't designed to do that, people are going to get more and more frustrated no matter which party's in power. So, yeah, we're just kind of in that weird spot. But everybody, yeah, we're all desensitized. I mean, for heaven's sakes, like, I don't know if you have an iPhone, an Apple phone, whatever phone you guys got, or I guess they're both the same thing here. But if you guys go to your phone, and I think you guys go over to settings or something like that, yeah, you go to screen time. The daily average for me being on my phone, daily average is 11 hours and 18 minutes. That's how much time I spend on my phone a day. 11 hours, 18 minutes. Now, a lot of it is doing chart work. A lot of it is I do a lot of trading from my phone. If I'm out and about, I take pictures of my dog. But, I also watch a lot of YouTube. And I will watch other YouTubers out there to see what they're thinking about. Like, let me see. Yeah, YouTube is top. Then after that is TikTok. After that is Safari, Discord, Twitter. I spend about 4 hours a week in my email, right? Of that 11 hour, 4 hours a week. So yeah, a little bit every day. So, Xfinity Stream, when I stream stuff, Money 2020, that's the app for the event coming up. I've been spending a lot of time on there because I've been talking to people on notifications. Snapchat, I do about an hour a week. Expedia, I've been spending about an hour a week on this. YouTube Studio, which is the back end of YouTube, an hour. Sirius XM, about 5 hours a week. And that's because when I'm driving, I listen to Sirius XM. So it's like open on my phone. Telegram, Bluetooth. The Bluetooth controls my camera there. I would consider myself way more than the average because I use it completely for work, pleasure, hanging out with Loki, charts. I use trading view, all that type of stuff. But, why should I care about the war half the world away when there's a homeless person like 5 miles away that needs my help, right? That's what people are usually thinking about, I think, at these points in time, because that homeless person has much more of an effect directly on me than the war in Ukraine. Well, that's the perceived opinion, I believe. And hey, Tony, His Majesty went off the reporters during OPEC press conference. Oh, yeah, he did. Well, remember, guys, just because the Western reporters don't have respect like other nations' reporters, there is, I don't want to call the reporter woke, but, a reporter that thinks they are all that and a bag of chips gets up there and starts trying to sass these people. That's not how you act. You got to act respectful. And the aura of those type of events is where if you act disrespectful, people make you feel embarrassed because you realize how out of place what you did was, right? It's like if you go, here's an example. I did, when I was younger, I did humanitarian aid work in El Salvador. And I went to this very small village with a couple of my friends, and we didn't know what was going on, but they were having one of these beautiful processions where they were carrying a statue of Jesus to the church, right? And they had candles all above it. Everybody in the streets was lined up with candles in their hands, watching it go through, okay? One of my friends, he said something out loud when everybody else was just dead quiet. And everybody looked at him, And then he felt incredibly embarrassed and just comes like, oops, sorry, and put his head down. And he just like, would shut up. That's how these type of events make reporters feel when they go too crazy. You could yell at President Biden, you can yell at President Trump, you could yell at Pelosi, you could yell, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But when you're in a formal press conference with some other countries, they have a much different level of decorum, how you're supposed to act in the professional settings. And a lot, like some of these reporters were not following that set of circumstances. So that guy, he really demolished. There was multiple guys that demolished the reporters, but my gosh, because remember they were trying to push the narratives that were being used in America to say that, hey, the reason that gas prices are going up is because OPEC was siding with Russia, right? And that's not what was going on. They want those investment dollars to keep flowing in there so they can keep on drilling more and more oil for down the road. So, that's why I watched them though, because if you guys watched that OPEC conference, I think it was only like an hour long, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you learned so much there. You don't got to take everything the Saudis say, as truth, but you could understand the rationale and why they're doing it. And sure, the perk of it also was they got to embarrass Biden. That was a perk of it. I wouldn't say that was the main reason, but it was a big perk. So you got to fill in those nuances there. But yeah, that meeting in press room was pretty interesting. And head true selection. I don't know much about BRICS Alliance. Let me know what it is, and I'll look it up for you. But I don't know what it is, unless it's something. It goes by another name here. What do I think about Ethereum Classic? Ethereum Classic really hasn't been doing much after those nice big booms we saw a few weeks ago. If I can find it here. Wait a second. Hope I didn't delete Ethereum Classic by accident. That could have happened, Matic. I did delete it by accident. That's what I actually did a few minutes ago. Okay. One more stripe up just so I'm not going crazy. Ape, Litecoin Engine. Yeah, I accidentally got rid of it. I knew I did something earlier. I just didn't know what it was. All right. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Let me move this sucker back up here. There we go. Okay. Over to weekly chart. So right now on the weekly chart, we are trying to hold this Fibonacci level here. That level is, oh, that's not even a Fibonacci level. That's just a general support level. Yeah, that's that zone we talked about. All right. It's going to try to hold this level kind of around 22 bucks or so. We end off tomorrow. So if the earnings report is good, we could have one of those good U's finishing off the week. So it looks something like this, right? Something like that, which could be nice because it could actually pop all the way back up here towards $25, $26, which would be a really nice thing to see. But let me hop all this stuff off very fast. We get all of it off. There you go to the daily charts. This is the concern. So we already had our major breakout. We had our level of support over here, right? And we managed to break down, and that therefore turned into a pretty nasty level of resistance, which we tried 1 day, 2 day, 3 days to break out above it, and we weren't able to do it. Now, since then, we've had two death cross. We had the death cross with a 20-day crossing below the 200-day. You saw that, and that led to a nasty crash. We're about to have another crash here pretty soon. Another death cross here pretty soon, where the 50-day moving average is going to cross down below the 200 daily moving average. You saw that 200 was a pretty steady level of resistance until we managed to break out above it, and when we did, it was a pretty forceful move. But that last time we had a death cross was way over here. That did not end up doing well for us at all. For now, as long as we really stay above the support level right here, I would say that's at $22. I mean, we already broke down below that. What is the next one? What did we bounce off of? Was right here. Okay. As long as I would say we stay above $20, I think you should be fine. But to me right now, I'd be very cautious about hopping into it. Maybe if we get a breakout, that may help you, but we're kind of at that resistance level right now. Like, we're there. If we manage to break out, that could be a good little buying opportunity for you, unless you wanted to buy closer to this support level down here. But for me, I'd want to see it break out and hold, and then I would want to be buying into it and seeing how it actually reacts as it approaches the 200 daily moving, the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Go over here to the 15-minute average right here. We got a pump. We're trying here. But you got to be careful because this is usually where people are going to start scaling out of their positions, and this is where people are going to be start to open up some shorts in anticipation for us coming back down here, getting rejected, and coming back down to support levels. Something you may look forward to if we're just going to go off of this short-term trade. All right, we hit that one level, just broke out this level here a few minutes ago. Let me go over here, half an hour chart, 4 hour chart. So we haven't done the 4 hour chart, I would say, but still, you know, we've already hit that first level. If you were going to be scaling out, now it's like scaling out some here, and they're going to be looking for another entry position if we manage to close above this and break above it. But I'd really want to see it break above and close at least on the 4 hour chart, if not the daily candle, excuse me, if you could. But right now, it looks like it's hitting that major level of resistance. I would say, if anything, unless what do we got? We got tomorrow as well. Unless Bitcoin really wants to make a breakout before earnings season comes into play, which kind of seems hard to believe, I would assume it might come down for a little bit of a breather and then try to make another move up. But you know, it might just come back down to like $22, $23, not much at all. $22.67, and then consolidate, then try to make another rip. It could definitely break out above this, but I'd just be very cautious at this point in time because earnings are coming out, and a lot of the big earnings that you guys are going to be watching start off on Tuesday with Microsoft, Google, Visa, Coca-Cola, big companies. General Electric, very big company right there. Chipotle, Twitter, Biogen, that's a big I'm not gonna even pronounce the name because I hate it, or I can't do it. But you know, then we got Meta on Wednesday, Boeing on Wednesday, a lot of stuff over here. Ford Thursday, Apple, Amazon. This is going to be a big week for crypto. So if you guys are going to be trading, just be very, very, very careful, because it's not going to be an easy week for a trader unless you guys are literally just buying and holding and waiting for the big move to happen, or opening a slow leverage short and just waiting for it to crash and having those stop losses. If you try to navigate the market too much, unless you're day trading, it'll get kind of tricky. I'd probably say day trading is almost preferable at this point, especially for crypto, because you guys can get in and out as you please without having to worry about too many of these massive moves, at least going up until Tuesday. There we go. Okay. See, and hey, Ken. So the update with Voyager right now, it seems as though they got a deal. It's been approved by a judge, and now it has to be approved by people that have money in Voyager. I think that's how it works. So apparently soon they're going to give people a vote on whether they want to accept the deal for FTX to buy out Voyager. Excuse me. So people are going to be forced to vote yes or no. I think I'm just going to vote yes, because the sooner I get my money back, the sooner I can make more money off of that money, basically. But that's all the news I got right now. It's like they got a deal done, everything's ready to go, but now it has to be approved by the shareholders. And then, you know, if it's approved by the shareholders, then it's pretty much almost over, and we people can get their money back probably sometime in 2023 instead of maybe, you know, we might have thought maybe 2024, 2025. We could probably get it back in 2023. And hey, Richard, just want to say that I appreciate all the time you devoted to this and all the valuable information you share with us. Do I think Bitcoin and Ethereum will be higher or lower at the end of the week? It all depends on earnings. Netflix earnings weren't too bad. I mean, if anything, I'd probably say the market wants to go up right now, and then probably have a bad start off good, like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday decent, and then towards the end of the week have a pretty nasty move down here. But here, I see the Nasdaq. It managed to close back above that 200 daily moving average. Normally, after we close down below this, we go full on crazy mode, right? Over here. After we close down below it, we didn't close down below it over here. We tend to go down, down, down. After we close down below it, we go down, 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 maybe up a little bit, but you know, ultimately it's going down, and a bad down at that. I would expect us, if we're going to go off of that chart right here and kind of breaking some of these norms, I would say we're probably going to try to rip up here a little bit, because if I was a market maker and I'm going to try to keep the market okay, especially leading up into a general election, Um, I would try to have one more pop off before we have this death cross, and then ultimately we start crashing down fairly hard. But if I was to guess, I'd probably say up. Probably going to be finishing up here. We just have to hope the earnings aren't too bad, or we don't have any really crazy news coming out. But again, you guys will know that primarily on Tuesday and Wednesday. I would say the biggest days. Thursday is after that. Then Friday a little bit. Monday is not too consequential for us. It's fairly inconsequential actually. The companies out there aren't going to be the most important on Monday. Excuse me. There you go. And hey, Dilly, happy to see you, my man. Uh, Algo and 88, which in your opinion has the bigger upside potential during the next bull run? I'd probably say Algo personally. Algo. I'd probably say Algo. And hey, Tony, no, she was woke AF. Just say it, Michael. I gotta be diplomatic when I talk about politics and stuff like that. But yeah, you could say she was woke. It's just I don't understand why people have to be that way. Like if you like Trump, hate Trump, like liberals, hate liberals, whatever it may be, um, you should act professional in a very professional environment. If you know, if the meeting's over, you're getting drinks and you're going to having fun at the bar with friends, woo yeah, woo yeah, right, whatever it may be, cool. But if I feel like if you're at an event like that and everybody's being serious, you should match that serious tone. It's more of a professional thing with me with the way that lady acted. But yeah, but you know, I don't like to make a scene when I ask questions. The answer to the question is the value that I try to offer. It's not the way I ask the question. That's not value. When you see people act like that, it's usually because they want to share it on Twitter and they want to get people to say, "Yeah, you did a great job. You really showed him." You know, that's kind of what I feel is going on, and that's kind of an effect of social media, right? Social media kind of did that to people. And hey, Bum Terps, I can't pronounce the name, my man, but what do you think about the BitBoy crypto news about the new bill? I do not know anything about this. Let me see. I don't really watch his channel at all. Let me see. No, I don't know. I don't know. You'd probably have to explain to me what the bill is, but I don't know. Crypto BitBoy Crypto doesn't really have the best reputation in the crypto world. He's an entertainer, but I guess he's promoted a lot of scam coins in the past, and it kind of got caught up to him. And then when he was called out for the scams, I guess another YouTuber called him out for it. He tried to sue the other YouTuber, and then when the other YouTuber exposed it or something like that, the whole crypto world was like, "Dude, no." And like, I guess he dropped the lawsuit or something like that. But I don't know much about BitBoy Crypto at all. Yeah, he promoted bad coins. I don't think crypto influencers should promote coins at all unless they're like established, really like top brands, if that makes sense. Um, because the way I look at it, you know, I work with lots of exchanges. I work with companies in the space of Web3 DeFi, but the companies that I work with, and I represent some of them, they don't actually have coins. I've tried to like tell you guys this a few times. A lot of the cool companies coming out of this new crypto revolution, blockchain revolution, whatever you guys want to call it, they don't actually have tokens or coins. They're just going into the old traditional marketplace of getting investors, and then you know they work, they become profitable, then they go public on the stock exchanges, and then they get valuations, and then people buy into them. IP, you know, the normal stuff. Not many are actually making tokens, which is kind of interesting. It kind of blew my mind when I learned that. Oh, okay. Oh, bricks. Okay. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Saudi is looking to join emerging economic alliance, a new reserve, petrocurrency, and more with the look. I mean, okay, I understand what they're trying to do. I've heard of this. I just know it was called BRICS. I didn't know the Saudis were going to try to join as well. I don't know if America is going to allow that to happen. I just don't know. They can try and maybe it'll work out. And if it does, it'll be a huge blow to America, a massive blow. We need the petrodollar keeps America really going at this point. If it has any effect, it won't do anything material, I would say, for another 5 to 10 years. But yeah, that is a concern from an American national security perspective. Yes, it is a big concern. It's a big threat to America, and America really isn't poised to do much about it. America and Europe have kind of pissed off the rest of the world by kind of telling them what they should do. They've kind of been that nagging person, like, hey, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way. And because we give out so much money to the rest of the world, America, the government always kind of assumed since we give out so much money, they have to side with us. They really don't. Right? And so as America and Europe kind of go more green, so we're going to consume less oil, put out less, carbon into the atmosphere, yada, yada, yada. There's going to be plenty of other countries out there that are going to be needing more energy. And again, let me go over here to Earth. People seem to forget that we live on this little bubble called Earth. Boom, chicka, wow, wow. There we go. Let's zoom out. Oh, I guess I'm at a weird angle. There we go. Okay. Oh, I didn't know how far we can get out. Okay. Okay. I know where this is, but we're kind of at a weird angle. So that's Australia. That's China, but can I? Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, there we go. That's what I like to see. Okay. There we go. Okay. So America, Canada, and Europa. All of us are going to be moving into this new green world, all green. But, guess what? There's tons of places in Africa that are going to need oil as they grow, right? You look at Africa. Look, just all this underdeveloped land. When they get their act together, whenever that is, whenever investment starts pouring through, and that investment may actually come from China or America, it's going to be a big scramble, and there already is a scramble here. But you go over here and you see the houses. Those houses don't have electricity. When they start getting powered, guess what they're going to be using? Oil, natural gas, coal, all the stuff we've been using over the past 50, 60 years. All right. And it's not just this one little town that I found that I've never heard of before, Libreville. Go over here to some small town, Lasturaville. Right? I don't know if yeah, they probably don't have they're not probably driving through there. But you guys get what I'm saying? They're all gonna need energy. They're all gonna need it. And guess what? Africa is a very large continent. America, yes, it is big, but Africa is massive. Guess what? China is not all glitz and glams like Hong Kong and Shanghai, right? Right? You see over here, can we drive over here? Probably not. This is China. But they got a lot of rural energy, a lot of rural villages that are going to need infrastructure here pretty soon too. Oh, that's all mountains. There we go. Right. Oh, how many fields do they need? 1, 2, 3. Wow, this is a nice little town. Actually, this one's actually pretty nice. But there's a lot of places out here that don't have all full electricity. The Southern Asia over here, they're going to need more energy as well. Over here in India, they're going to need a lot of energy as well. Westerners, myself included, we tend to be a little bit arrogant when it comes to these type of things. We think because America goes green that somehow we can force the whole world to go green. But Oh gosh, I don't know where I'm at. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's nothing there. Why would I have a name if there's nothing there? Okay, here we go. Back over here. No. Oh, okay. Are these just? I don't. I mean, these might be tribes or something. I don't know. I really don't know. They all have cool names. Okay, I should probably just go purposely somewhere that has more city like. Yeah. Okay. Here. Look at this. This is all single. This is all single. No double stories. You know, all single houses, right? All kind of packed on top of each other. They're going to build infrastructure. They're going to build grids. It's going to happen slowly, but as they do it, woo, they're going to need energy, and they're going to need a lot of it. And I mean a lot of it. Oh, here's where all the nice houses are. Solar panels and stuff like that. You got docks. Yeah, this is where you want to live. You want to live on the on the island, you know. And there's probably some decent houses over here. Like, see, new houses. You can see it. It's slowly starting, and I mean very slowly, but it's starting. And once it picks up, there'll be investments, there'll be money, there'll be jobs, and you're gonna see these types of houses. Not all, like, not maybe not this nice, but it's gonna spread, and they need more energy. I guarantee that these houses right here, with electricity, you know, pools, you know, everything. These houses, they probably use the same amount of energy as this like entire little block right here. Okay. You know, so just because we're moving away from fossil fuels, it does, like, don't be so arrogant. I'm not talking about you, but like, just don't, like, as people, let's not be so arrogant to think that Africa is going to just jump on that train left and right, that Mexico and South America is just going to jump on that train. I used to do a lot of humanitarian work in El Salvador. And oh gosh, where's San Salvador? Okay. There's a little town I used to go to, and I don't know if I can find it. San Sebastian seems familiar, but I mean it's a village. And I mean, when I mean a village, I mean a village that there's only like one brick building in the entire town. No, this isn't it. But you know, you can see these houses. Hold on, let me see if I can I pull up a picture? Okay, there you go. Right? You see much electricity going through there? No. As everything expands, all these places need energy. And by the way, as quality of life increases in places like Africa, Southeastern Asia, South America, Central America, etc., you're going to see that the demand for energy goes up dramatically. And we haven't been paying attention to that as a society. Because I mean, if you ask any American, you think, hey, we should help Africa get a better quality of life, they say yes, we should, right? And when that happens, they need more energy. Santa Cruz over here, this is a nice little place, right? I don't know where I was at. I was at some place. San Salvador is very nice. It's very, I mean, it's kind of sketchy in some regards, but it was nice when I went there. Gosh, where did I go? I'll look for it very fast, only because it's a Saturday night. We'll watch Bitcoin do it some stuff. I know I have it on my Facebook page because I have tons of old photos when I was in high school of going down there. Michael. And let's go over here to photos. Okay, long time ago photos. All right. Does it have metadata with it? No. San Salvador? It says San Salvador, but I'm not entirely sure. But let me go over here and see it. No, that's just the major city. No, because we were in some rural village in the middle of nowhere. Where's a mountain peak? We got like fresh jalapenos, fresh peppers every single morning. The food was good until they tried to make American food. Whenever another culture tries to make hamburgers, it just does not end well for me at all. My stomach was just not feeling it. What was the thing I went with? No, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like, guys, there's a lot of small villages. You got stuff like this. This is actually not bad infrastructure here. It may not look crazy good to you, but it's actually pretty decent, right? Especially churches. I love looking at churches. Churches are beautiful. Like right here, right? Just chairs, got lights and a couple fans. the quality of life is going to go up, and when it does, they need more energy. I really wish I knew. You had to take one of those really janky roads to get to it, where basically, like if you ran across another bus or another car going on the same road, somebody is gonna have to back up. That's the kind of sketchy roads we were going on, but it was a fun time. It was a fun time. Everyone always in their feelings is the problem. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm a very emotional guy sometimes, but I kind of just, as long as it's not business, I'm okay with being emotional. But if it's business work, I just like turn it all off. Um, but yeah, people are very emotional these days. I can be pretty emotional. I can be pretty emotional, but I'm more of an angry emotional guy. Like, stop bothering me, stop pissing me off, please stop. Like, I've never gotten physical and that not like years. When somebody tried to punch me in a club, I was like, what the heck is going on? I was talking to his girlfriend apparently, and he didn't like that. But we had known each other for like 4 years, and I guess like she just never talked about me, which is fine. But what do you call it? It was, I didn't know what to do, so I just like, I'm a fight or flight. I'm a fight guy. I learned that during all these Halloween scary house event things. If somebody scares me, I don't run. I just like accidentally punch. So which is why I don't go to them anymore, because I'm not responsible enough not to punch a guy that tries to scare me when I'm asking to be scared. Right. It was the 14th anniversary this year, so I think it was pretty established. I just heard about it from my Brazilian friends. Oh, I don't know. I mean, then it must mean they're just not making as much progress here. They I don't know what they're gonna do then. Whatever they're doing, they need to speed up the process if they want to go against the American dollar right now, because right now the dollar is just like freaking crazy powerful. You know what? They actually, since the dollar is so powerful, they should be asking people to spend their dollars on this new project that they're doing, or this established project now. That when the dollar goes back down, that currency is much more powerful, right? But again, the way they make this more powerful, if you think about it, is by becoming more, making more connections with African countries, right? South Asian countries, which is going to be fairly easy for China and India to do, right? And then South America, a little bit more tricky, but South American countries actually, like China's been building them schools and stuff, right? They have been sending good gestures of good faith, I would say, to Central America. So you know, they're probably on this long-term plan. We'll see what happens towards the end of it, but it seems like it's a very, very long-term plan at this point. See. And hey, Richard, Mike, in terms of trading, in what ways do you say that ADHD has been beneficial, and which ways has it made things difficult? I have also ADHD and find myself buying too many different stocks. Yeah, so the trick to that is actually very simple. You find 10 to 15 that you really, really like, and you stick with those 10 to 15. To this day, I primarily trade Apple. Like 50% of all the money I made last year came specifically from Apple, right? Then after that, it was Tesla, which was more of a YOLO event that happened. So it wasn't really just my technical analysis, but it was more of just like events happened to make Tesla kind of pop off with the split, because I wasn't expecting the split to happen at the time it did. But normally you just want to find 10 to 15 stocks that you will become masters of. And then after that, you'll be good. Nvidia is a good one to try to figure out. Apple's a good one. Microsoft is okay. Microsoft is like a very, very safe one, but it doesn't give you the most profit. So the risk and reward is very, very low on both sides of the equation there. But I would say Apple, I mean, like just learn how to trade. Just start off with 10. Start off with 10. 10 is fine. If you guys just pick 10 stocks and only 10 stocks and learn how to trade them, you will do so much better than if you try to find every single thing popping off. It really does make a difference. And then over time, you start to figure out the characteristics of those different stocks, right? So the ways I made money last year with Apple, if I can find Apple on here, let's go to breakouts, AAPL. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's fine. let's go to the weekly chart here. I know. Sorry, Loki's over here wanting to get head scratches. There you go. Okay, so let's go over here. So this is 2020, right? 2021 starts right somewhere over here. Okay, here. Okay, there you go. Okay, now this is a weekly chart here, so just stay with me, guys. But, you know, solid breakout right there. We go back to my channel. I don't know if I saw pictures of it. Four months ago, let's see. I actually don't know how much YouTube actually keeps all this information here. Oh, wait, that could be it. No. There you go. Hey, let me see. Apple, ALB. I was trying to see if I can find out the best one. No. Okay, so Apple, right? So move some of this stuff over here, right? So you can see with Apple, you see how many calls I bought there? 200. Other ones I was just playing around for you guys to keep track of some of the calls I was giving you guys. Like, hey, I think this one will be a good call. This will be a good call. FTNT was actually part of my top 5 here, but that's because FTNT did something really weird. It just kept on going up like consistently. But you know, like Apple, I feel confident enough to add a lot of my positions onto Apple, a lot of money onto Apple, whereas other positions not so bad. But that trade happened right there. That was that trade right there. You do a basic Fibonacci extension level right here. You can pretty much see the levels in which I scaled out. So, oh boy. Oh, there it is. Okay, sorry. I was like, what the heck is that? Right. Resistance, broke out above that. Level 1, this is where I sold off the most of it. Hit the next one up, I sold the rest of it right there. Then we kind of went sideways, and then it ripped up even more. But because it's options, of course, I get out before my expiration date. But you know, I knew how to trade Apple. There was a lot of fear when I told you guys about this play originally because we waited until the breakout. You buy right here, but what happened? We had 1, 2, 3 days of red. And so the options were down like 15-20%. And then only if you guys manage to hold through all that chaos, which I normally do because I know Apple, once it breaks out, it can stagnate, but it usually pops off pretty well. After those few days, you got to see that. Oh, I got to have it now, but you got to see that lovely profit, right? So if you just learn to trade like 5 to 10 stocks, start off with 5, go to 10, then make it to 15. Then if you really want to, go to 20. But I would normally say save those last 5 for crypto. Like, you know, last like 10 stocks, 5 crypto, 15 stocks, 5 crypto, right? But that's the way I look at it. And, you know, I like trading Apple. Like even now, the last Apple play I gave you guys a while ago was a simple, hey, we're hitting resistance, everybody. Let's buy some Apple puts, and then this should be a lot faster, guys. I promise. That was Nike calls that we did, or hedge play. Apple, 244% average, 283% on these calls, 205 right here. But what you'll notice here is, even though the NVIDIA ones made more money, so to speak, you'll see that I invested way more money in Apple than I did in Netflix or NVIDIA. I probably should have invested this amount of money into NVIDIA, or maybe I don't know how much those calls actually cost. They might have been pretty expensive calls. My main point being here, I am much more comfortable trading Apple because I've been doing it time after time and time again. But as far as having ADHD when you're trading, I think the focus here is you're going to have one large chart on one monitor, or maybe you're just trading platform if you have TD Ameritrade, if you're just trading stocks, right? E-Trade, whatever it may be. And then on this other side of things, like you guys can't see this, but this is on my wide monitor here. So I just literally have the window shrinked down for you, but I can really stretch this thing out like all the way, and like so much so that you guys like you can't even see most of the screen off of it. Let me make it go over here very fast. Okay. But what I'll do is I'll get out of this and I'll just put up like, you know, 8. And then it looks kind of squished right now because again, I squished it down so you guys can see everything. Now this is Bitcoin. I don't actually use this one at all for like 8 screens, never, because there's no way you guys could care about all these things happening. And I'll just let it sit. And what I basically do over the weekends here, if I'm doing swing trading, especially in a bull market, is I'll do all of my technicals over the weekend, and I'll just wait for those breakouts to occur. And when the breakout occurs, I'll get a little ding on my phone, a little ding on TradingView, and I'll be like, okay, sweet, we've broken out. Let's see if we close above it. If so, last half an hour of the trading day, I will open up a position. Same with the breakdown, right? Now, ADHD allows me to kind of look at all that, and I'm just looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the dings keep me focused. Now, as far as it comes to day trading and stuff like that, usually I like to look for not just breakout patterns. I like to look for support zones, resistance zones. So if I go over here very fast, and then we go look at what was the last call I gave you guys midday? Tesla, yeah, Tesla. YouTube breakouts, Tesla right here. So there we go. So I forget what the event was over here. Does anybody remember what the event was? Oh, CPI data on the 22nd. Okay. We were crashing down pre-market because CPI data was very, very bad. It was much hotter than expected. Nobody thought it was gonna be that hot, and it was. And what I told you guys in the morning here is, hey, we have a good solid support level here for Tesla. I think if you guys want to do a day trade on this, you guys could buy around here. I didn't say like exactly this point, but like right around here. And then you guys would be aiming for 220 and sell it when it hits 220. Now, if you sold it at 220, you made a good profit from like, 208 to 220, especially with options, really good profit. However, it did go higher, went to 222, 223. And if you guys held to the next day, like I did, you got up to 226. I ended up selling it for like 224 or something like that. But I was being a little bit greedy and it paid off. But if I waited any longer, it would actually not have worked out too well, right? Even with this, the theta would have killed the options off basically because Tesla options are so expensive. But you start to get a feeling of how these stocks operate, and you can have a better idea of, hey, see, we bopped off right there. This was the first bop we've done in a while. That'd be right here, and that's what you're hoping for, right? Right there, boop. Those simple things. But Tesla does that a lot because Tesla has a lot of avid buyers. And if you know anything about Tesla as far as the way it trades, Tesla has a lot of people trade options on it. It has so much money tied up in options. It's absolutely insane. There is way too much money tied up in one stock, and that is Tesla. Not with like just people buying the stock, but options themselves. Options. Way too many people own options in Tesla. So if this thing goes kaput at any point in time, a lot of money just gets completely wiped out of their equation here. But that type of stuff, right? Support right here, you can see there was a few levels like support right there, level support right there. It's we broken down as well, but you can see the general vibes here. Going back over to Tesla, right? Not every support level is necessarily a good one, and that's why you got to be more careful about Tesla. Tesla really kicked my butt during this event right here. There we go. That one. Kicked my butt. They had bad news during this week, and with the breakout that was supposed to happen, it kind of got postponed. You see, we crashed back down, and then we started ripping up afterwards. But because I had options, it really tore me a new one here, which I was not happy about. I ranted about it on the stream and whatnot. So I'm not perfect, but with ADHD, it's more of just setting up everything during the weekend. Like all of your technicals, figure out what's good, and then once you get the bing saying, hey, the trade is, you can take the trade now, basically, like whatever you wanted to hit. From there on out, you just, oops, I'm pushing buttons here. From then on out, you're just like, okay, now let's see, is it gonna hit that resistance level that I think it is? If it's here, it's a sell. If it hits here, it's a buy. If that type of stuff. Like when it comes to what is this? AMD. What is this? This is a GAN fan. This isn't a relevant GAN fan here. What's something I could show you here that would make more sense? Oh, we just looked at it with Apple, right? That breakout from that trend line right there. You go right here, you go right there, you go right there. You can see why I was scaling out at certain times. So, okay. I bought and I held because I know Apple pretty well now. first level of resistance, I didn't care about that. The next level of resistance, I cared about this one right here. Okay. Now, the reason I cared about this one primarily is because if you kind of drag it along, kind of matches up with this over here and this over here. So I was like, okay, I'll scale out like, I think it was like 10% right here. I scaled out 10%. Up here, I scaled out like 50% because I normally am aiming for the one target level. Usually the white line is what I'm aiming for. And then I scaled the rest right here. Okay. Now, it could have definitely kept on ripping, but usually after a breakout, when a breakout's gone like, I don't know, like 12% in just like a month, that's a pretty crazy move when it comes to Apple. Apple doesn't normally do it like that, even with all the crazy stuff going on. So I was like, you know what? I'll scale out, and I made my money. Now it eventually went up, but my options wouldn't have gone up as much either there. So you have to look for other reasons. Another reason would have been let's see. Is there anything else here that would have stopped me from buying? I'm trying to think of some weird stuff that I do over here. No. Oh, I would have had to look at this one. Let's get all those lines out. Let's get this one over here. Let's see. Where's the solid bottom here? I guess that might have been it right there. No, that one wasn't too bad. I gotta fix those green lines here. Was it this one? There was something that told me to sell a bit earlier, but I didn't. No, not too bad there. Not too bad there. I'm not gonna remember it then. It could have been this last one. I'll try, but if I can't remember it, I can't remember it. It's in my notes, but I'm not going back to my notes. That takes way too long. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This one right here. It matched up really nicely with this previous all-time high. I thought I might scale out more there, but if we go back over here to the daily chart, go back over here, back over to this first one that we were looking at. One here went up a little bit higher, but I was pretty convinced we might actually stop right around there or somewhere in this zone. I guess you would call it a zone. And you see up here, we got that zone right there. We broke above it just to get rejected, actually. But yeah, like focus on 5 to 10 stocks that you really, really like. These are usually going to be stuff that's very simple. You don't want things that are too crazy. So I would say Amazon did a split recently, so it's much more affordable. So Amazon, Apple, Microsoft can be pretty slow. I tend to not like Microsoft too much because the technicals are kind of wonky sometimes. Much more false breakouts than Apple. That's the main point there. Intel is great for puts. You guys can see why. Visa is good for some puts as well, usually when the market's not looking too good. But you can see we just hit a double bottom here. There's a lot of stocks that had double bottoms here, guys. So that's why I'm thinking we might actually finish off this week good if earnings aren't too bad. Another one, if you guys like earnings plays, Netflix seems to be it. Hedge plays are really good. You can see, we just broke above that resistance we talked about a few days ago. I thought we might actually go down. But I told somebody to get a hedge play just in case we went up. That way you can make money either way. We ended up popping up quite a bit. Hopefully that hedge worked out for him. And now we've broken above the 200 daily moving average. Netflix hasn't been above this 200 since January. Oh, yowza. Facebook is good at one as well. Facebook is good if you like to look off the weekly charts. We're pretty close to this bottom here. Unless I'll bounce. A lot of stuff looks like it wants to bounce right now. Man, Avgo. Bounce off the 200 lows, bounce off support. Gosh, yeah. Intel, bounce off support. Bank of America, double bottom. Gee, Visa. Not really much support here for Visa. Not really at all. I guess the market just kind of slowing it down. Macy's, a little bit. Ooh, Macy's. Oh, this is March 2020. That's why. Okay. Not too bad. Oh, it's trying to stop at death clouds here. So yeah, only stuff that I really like right now, you guys know, is oil. Oil is beautiful. Oil is just amazing. But you guys get what I'm saying. Focus on what you can at the moment. It's like 5, 10 stocks. And then, sorry, I almost stepped on my dog's foot. There we go. What I tend to do, there we go, is just become masters of those stocks and expand as I need. To this day, I usually only trade about 10 different stocks. And then after that, and you can include SPY, I guess, in there, SPY2, and maybe the triple Q. But really after that, I do other stocks as well, but they're more of just for fun at that point. And then I also do crypto, which is more fun than trading stocks and options. But options make me way more money than crypto ever could. Only way I make a lot of money in crypto is if I buy dollar cost average, hold, sell during the rallies, and then pick my altcoins. I'm very picky with them because I run background checks on the people that run the businesses of those altcoins. I will look at their market cap, their mission, the utility, what they're trying to solve, all that sort of stuff. And then if I think their coin's good, I'll toss them 50 to 100 bucks because they're such low market caps. A little bit of money can really turn into a lot of money there. But that takes a lot of work on my part. But set yourself up so you're doing a lot of the work on the weekends and you're taking advantage of all that work on the weekdays when the market's actually open. Because for me, the reason I did it that way when I first started and where I'm still doing it now is I was riding the train every morning to work. So my schedule was here. I used to live right here, okay? Right there. That's my friend Keegan's car. My car is maybe not here actually. Maybe, I don't know. But I used to live right here. So I'd wake up around 5 o'clock every morning before the market opened up, right? Because the market opens up 6:30 my time. I would drive over here, drive, after I make breakfast, get ready. I'd park in this parking garage. There it is. I'd hop on the train. I would take the train all the way north, all the way to Seattle. I would get off at the stadium, King Street Station. Then from here, I would take an Uber to my office at the Dexter Horton building, which is like an E sideways. Oh, I guess not an E, but 1, 2, 3. There's one too many little cracks there. And I'd go work over here, okay? And afterwards, I'd take an Uber back to the train and go all the way back down, right? And so I would leave home like around 6 o'clock, and I wouldn't get back until like 6:37. So I'd be at the home the entire day, right? And you notice throughout that entire day, the market has opened and closed while I'm either on work, at work, or on the way home. So in order to make that easier for myself, I was just like, hey, let me do all this work on the weekend. If I get a ping on my phone, this means that, hey, Apple's broken out, Microsoft has broken out, Tesla's broken down, Tesla's broken out. Something's happening that I already did the work on earlier, and I know exactly which trade. So I'd have my notes open on my phone and be like, hey, if ping on Apple, let's see what happened and broke out. You decided you're going to buy 165 calls expiring 2 weeks out, and you're going to hold them for about a week. All right. And then every morning, then you check your phone at work. Not a lot, but how are they doing? How are they doing? And that's the way you make your trades. Well, that's the way I make my trades. So I like it. It's easy for me, but it's not easy for everybody. But I working in Seattle, like commuting that much and working like that, it really put a lot of stress on me. And I didn't want to pay the Seattle prices for rent at that point in time. So I was just like, might as well, right? Might as well. See, but yeah, Richard, come up with this. Come up with a list and don't deviate from that list. I've given up on options leverage. I never make money on them, and I don't know the problem with that. I don't know the problem with that. I'm just buying 1 day a week of both crypto and 40 stock dividends portfolio and hope for the best. I mean, that's great for the long term. If you want to build some wealth, that's still a very, very solid play to do. Very, very solid play. What do we think about Tesla? I mean, it looks like the market in total wants to have a little bit of bounce this week. My concern is overall is that the stock market's been able to have some decent bounces. Crypto really hasn't been following those bounces as well. The good thing for crypto right now, though, is we're close to that breakout. So if we can kind of just go sideways a little bit longer, then we have an opportunity of hitting back up here and then going boom. And I think what's going to happen here fairly soon is, I'll be gone in Vegas tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you guys won't really hear from me too much as far as looking at the charts, but I could easily see sometime tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday, us ripping up to test out like around 19,729, somewhere around that, $500 bump. Bitcoin ripping up, altcoins doing some fun stuff, and me ripping up more, right? But I think you're going to see a lot of people feel bad that they didn't buy now, and they might try to buy up here. But if they buy up here, I don't know if we're going to break out or if we're just going to dump back down. So, I'm waiting to see how people are going to react to this over the next few days. But I don't think we're going to have anything really crazy as far as volatility until Tuesday and Wednesday. Again, because of some of the earnings we have coming out with Tuesday, Microsoft, Google. That's going to be a big one. Advertising dollars for YouTube, Visa, Coca-Cola. Wednesday is Meta, how much money they're losing because of the metaverse, Boeing, Waste Management, Apple, Amazon, MasterCard on Thursday, a lot of other stuff, Comcast. It's going to be a pretty eventful week. Pretty eventful week. But I'd probably say up as long as the earnings are pretty decent, because Tesla's earnings weren't necessarily terrible, but they weren't necessarily like good. They were just like more on the downward side, right? Isn't a good thing. They could probably continue to bounce up though, especially if the market is pushing it back up. Tesla would really soar regardless of what the earnings were last week. Do I think Foxconn could facilitate both Apple and Tesla in the coming years? Maybe. I mean, if they got the connections right and people are willing to do it, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, they could. See, and no worries, Richard. Would you buy stocks on Cash App? No. Nothing wrong with Cash App, perhaps, but their user interface just does not seem like something I'd want to be holding money in. It just really does not seem like something I'd really want to be holding my assets on. Like, go to Robinhood over Cash App personally. I'll try to find some better exchanges for you guys, because I know not everybody likes the TD Ameritrades or the Schwabs or the E-Trades or Fidelities. I understand that they're more old school. I totally get it. I'll try to do a ranking of the top 5-10 stock trading apps I could find, and they won't include stuff like TD Ameritrade. I'll do that on a separate review. But I'd probably just say no. This isn't. I don't know. And this could just be. I think it's just more of a me problem, not so much a Cash App problem. Personally, Cash App to me, it just seems like there's a lot of people on that platform that are always annoying me on Twitter. I'm not talking about you, but you guys know, like Cash App Friday or something like that. Say, hey, I'll give somebody $5 on Cash App. Just like we tweet. It has like a stain on it, or I don't even know how to describe it. But personally, no, I would not buy any stocks on there. If you want to get serious about investing, I would go with something like a TD Ameritrade, a Fidelity, or an E-Trade. If you don't want to go full blown like professional level, you can go with a Webull, a Robinhood, those other ones out there like eToro, other ones out there. Basically, you can give that a try. But as far as Cash App, probably not. It's just not that it's so bad necessarily. I just think that everything else is so much better. I think that makes sense. And Tony says Webull is good and CryptoWorks says Fidelity for the win. So there you guys go. Let's see. And hey, Jim Bob, let me know how it goes if it works out for you. And M1 Finance is good too. That is good too. So there's lots of opportunities out there. I'll try to do a review video for you guys sometime. What I'm hoping to do here, guys, is as I make more shorts, and shorts don't really make money for the channel actually, but as I get better at making these videos, I'm hoping to increase the income here where I can hire an actual editor to do my videos. And if I can hire an editor and I can pay him like $100 a week to do one video, 2 videos. I don't know how many videos he'll be able to do because my videos aren't too long, right? Maybe I'll just do reviews on each individual. I won't do a top 5 until the end, but I'll do like a review on Robinhood, a review on Webull, a review on, the one, two, M1, all that type of stuff. Maybe you guys can understand the intricacies of each app and how they can benefit you depending on each of your trading styles, right? Maybe that's what I'll do. And hey, Admiral, when will the bear market finish? I mean, we'll probably bottom out sometime in Q2, Q3 of 2023. After that, we'll still be technically in a bear market. However, I do think that maybe Q3, Q4, we can really see some, good growth, leading us to be out of the recession at Q1 of 2024. But by then, the market's going to already be well off the lows and moving up higher, if that makes sense, okay? All right. But okay, everybody. And always, I see God, happy to help you out. I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I gotta get ready. I still gotta pack up some stuff for Vegas tomorrow. I leave late at night. Loki's all mad at me for not hanging out with him as much. I've been hanging out with him a lot today. What am I talking about? He's just needy right now. Loki, come here. Loki. Yeah. So you guys, can you guys see Loki? No, he's on my leg, but you guys, Loki. Loki, come here. Oh, you're on my headphone. That's okay. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'm gonna call it a night, everybody. I'm gonna go finish packing because I have to put the camera that you guys are looking at. I gotta put all this stuff into a suitcase, and then I gotta find all the boxes that I bought the camera with and this everything with, so it actually fits, and I'm not like wrecking my camera as I travel down to Las Vegas. I know I'm flying first class, but I think they trash first class bags just like they trash everybody else's bags when it goes to that back room. So I really want to make sure that my camera is in tip-top shape and everything like that. And that's gonna take a while for me to do, and I gotta unplug everything. I got a really crazy little mechanical system built up here for my streaming with you guys. Okay, but okay, buddy, I will see you guys a little bit tomorrow. I'll do some posts, maybe I'll do a couple shorts with you guys, and then after that I won't stream Sunday really, because I'm just going to be getting in at like 11 o'clock, and I'm just going to be like beat, and I'm being drunk because I like to get free alcohol on the planes. And then Monday, you guys will see me streaming in the morning, probably before I go out. And then maybe a couple streams from inside the Money 2020 convention, where maybe I just have my phone set up, and then I'm just like, hey, asking regular people random questions like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then that might be for an hour, just interviewing people. And then you guys could tell me what I should be asking these people, which would be pretty interesting, right? So maybe that'll work out, maybe it won't. I gotta see how it works out. Hopefully nobody's mad if I do it like that. But okay, everybody, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and you guys will see me streaming on Monday. Okay, thanks again, and get ready to ask some questions of some really